Hello everybody, how are you doing today? Bahroo here again with another Destiny video. And today we're going to be walking through the weekly Nightfall strike of the Archon Priest. Now while this strike in particular may not be the hardest of the ones that we've seen so far, I've decided to start doing some of these guides to help those who do have trouble with them. Now we'll be using the Atheon's Epilogue, the Supremacy, and the Swarm for this. And I also highly recommend that if you have extra glimmer, to get heavy weapon and special weapon synthesis if you need them. As far as your specific loadout, since not everyone has the same weapon, you want to prioritize elemental snipers as well as an LMG over a rocket launcher or say a fusion rifle or anything like that. For your primary, use whatever has an element or whatever you are best with. Now the modifiers for this week are going to be Arcburn, Solarburn, and Voidburn. And that is it. This means that all enemy damage will be quadrupled, as well as your own, as long as you are using elemental damage. So as long as you can manage to keep that in, you will be able to do just fine through the strike. This also means that every single ability that your class does, regardless of who you are, a warlock, a titan, or a hunter, all of your abilities, whether they be arc, solar, or void, will do significantly more damage. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and start making our way through the strike. Continue as normal, making your way down this cave, and you're going to encounter your first pack of enemies. There will be a group of goblins, as well as Dregs fighting each other. Keep in mind that you can die very easily to any enemy in this strike due to the extra damage that everything has. Shouldn't be able to have too much of an issue taking out your first pack. And also note that any section where there are opposing factions, try to let them take out as much of each other as possible. Moving forward to the cave, you will notice that there are 2 hobgoblin snipers at the top. Recommend taking them out first before continuing with anything else. A few seconds into this fight, a Hydra will spawn. You'll want to prioritize that, as well as the volleys from this will be able to take you and your team out very quickly. After that, just go ahead and toss a grenade into the pile there, and you will be able to take out the majority of the remaining fallen enemies. Moving forward, be careful on the left, as there may be additional goblins that may not have been killed by the fallen. Once you go up to the ramp, you're going to want to pull out your sniper rifle again. There will be 2 more hobgoblins waiting by the cave exit, as well as potentially a captain or some goblins. The captain and the goblins will fight each other, so you'll either have a goblin or a captain. This is all dependent on which wins the duel, basically. Now we're going to go ahead and cut to the next section here. So continue forward until you reach the cinders. You're going to want to follow this little path here. Don't try and jump into the fray, as there are a lot of enemies fighting with each other, so you're going to want to let them take out as much of each other as possible. As you make your way down, there's going to be a group of 4 goblins, as well as 3 hobgoblins later down the line. So pull out your sniper rifle again and quickly take them out. A quick note is an easy way to dodge hobgoblin fire is to make sure that you just quickly move to the side there. I did get hit once, but I managed to dodge the second shot. Hobgoblins always fire at your current location, so as long as you're either moving left or right, you will not have to worry about getting hit by them. Now there are 2 captains as well as a praetorian in this fray here, so just try and pick off as many of them as possible. Once the captains and the praetorian are down, go forward and clear them out with your assault rifle. Now, after you're done clearing out all of these enemies, you are going to want to make sure that you are topped off on all of your sniper rifle ammo and all ammo in general. If you have to use a synthesis, now is the best time to use it. The reason for this is because you are not going to want to leave the perch until this entire wave is over. You will have to go through 3 waves of defense before you can continue onwards. For the first wave, there are 3 praetorians as well as a lot of goblins. There are also 2 hobgoblins hidden inside of those packs, so you will need to keep an eye out for them and recommend prioritizing them as quickly as possible. Note that if you are playing on 3-player difficulty, that the hobgoblins more than likely can kill you in a single shot, so it is very important that you prioritize those as well as calling them out. If you don't have a sniper rifle to take them out with in a single shot like I can, recommend you hitting them with your assault rifle, then lining up the crit shot. Once the Hobgoblins are dealt with, go ahead and deal with the Praetorians, again with the sniper rifle. The sniper rifle will be your main your main damage dealing weapon throughout this entire strike, so you're going to want to prioritize that ammo and conserve it as much as possible. You are also going to want to make sure that you have either extra sniper rifle ammo or having a arc item. Having an arc item is very important for the strike due to having to deal with Harpies. Now, as soon as the first wave is down, there will be 3 Hobgoblins that spawn behind you in that cave. You'll need to take them out first, and then after you take out those 3, you will need to very carefully peek into the courtyard and take out a lot of Hobgoblins. As you will see, there are quite a few, and remember that on 3-player difficulty, a single shot from any of these will one-shot you. Once you've cleared out the majority of the Hobgoblins, it will just be a small pack of goblins for you to deal with. The grenades shouldn't one-shot you, but anything combined with that will. So you'll need to pay extra attention to that. Once you've cleared out this wave, the final wave is relatively easy. You will have to deal with a lot of Harpies as well as 3 Hydras. However, the Hydras will not leave the courtyard, so dealing with the Hydras is your priority here. If you need extra room, just back up the way you came through and deal with the Harpies in a single file line. You'll notice that I have a arc LMG, so I'm able to deal with these Harpies in just a few bullets. One to crack their shield, and then another to down them. Again, if you don't have an arc item, recommend using a sniper rifle or using any arc item in general. Even if you have to buy one that is green quality or blue quality, it will still do more damage than anything else that you have due to the quad damage modifier. Once you're sure that all of the Harpies have been dealt with, go ahead and finish off that last Hydra. And once he's dead, go ahead and scavenge for any additional ammo. You're going to want to make sure that you have, at minimum, I believe 5 shots of sniper rifle ammo, as you're going to have to take out some Hobgoblins here in just a minute. Now for the section with the pikes, I opt to ignore the pikes altogether because they make you a very large target for the pack of enemies that you are about to encounter. You're about to encounter a bunch of Hobgoblins as well as a couple of Praetorians. So as soon as you move up, go ahead and jump off your bike and pull out your sniper again, and you'll have to deal with 3 Hobgoblins to begin with, and then all the way down into the pond will be 2 additional ones. They may be hard to see, but you will be able to get them. And I managed to hit this last one in the very smallest part of his head. There you go. And once you've dealt with that, there will be 3 additional Praetorians at the end of the pond. Take them out if you have additional ammo. If not, recommend moving up forward and slowly chipping away at them with any of your leftover ammo. If you haven't used a synthesis now, potentially using it for sniper ammo. You can also check the Hobgoblins that you killed for the first 3 pack for more ammo. Enemies, Juggler is not on for this strike, so if you are out of ammo, you will more than likely recover it, and if you really want to, you can wait an extended period of time and the game will replenish your ammo for you. At this point, you can run past the enemies if you choose, but I am very precautious when I do Nightfall strikes, so I always clear out every enemy that is possible to clear out. To the right here are going to be a couple of Harpies. Again, just pull out your arc weapon or additional sniper ammo and quickly take them out. Now go ahead and continue down the hallway until you reach the Hydras. Once you reach the Hydras, don't move too far forward, and they will not make any attempt to attack you. Since I have low sniper rifle ammo, I decided to put 1 shot into each of them in the critical spot and then kind of pelt away at them with the assault rifle. Since I can't really get a last shot on them, just go ahead and clear out the goblins. Keep in mind that if you do move too far forward, there is a pack of enemies to your right on a cliff, 2 hobgoblins, and a small pack of regular goblins. You'll need to watch out for them again because, as I said, hobgoblins can one-shot. Once you've cleared out this pack of enemies, you're pretty much at the end here, and only a few more sets that you'll have to deal with before fighting the boss. Now, throughout this entire strike, I try and avoid using any of my abilities outside of one grenade to show that you can pretty much do this as any class. I also, despite being a Sunsinger, do not use my res ability at any point. So once everything is dead, go ahead and keep moving downward, and you'll have to encounter a couple of Hydras, as well as a Praetorian, and an elite captain. If you have heavy ammo, this is where you're going to want to use it, as this can be a kind of rough transitional period, depending on what you have on you. Recommend taking out the Praetorian as quickly as possible, as he can kill you in just a few shots. Once the Praetorian is down, you're going to want to focus on the Harpies and then the captain himself. One thing to remember is that these Dregs that will be scattered throughout this area can kill you very quickly, and the blades that they have on them are considered arc melee, and their melee is quadrupled. Now, once all the Dregs are out, go ahead and make your way to the back of the room here. You will need to be here for multiple reasons. 1, to funnel enemies down to you, and 2, to keep your line of sight out of the skiff. There are a lot of skiffs that patrol through this area, so they can take you out with their mortars very quickly. You're going to want to take out the Shanks with either a grenade or potentially a sniper rifle shot, or just hit them with your assault rifle. If you have a non-elemental primary, it can be kind of difficult to kill Shanks, so prioritize fire damage if you have that weapon. Once you've cleared out a couple of the enemies, you will notice a dropship coming down. This is going to drop a couple of enemies, namely 2 captains, a couple of Dregs, and 2 Vandels. The main priority here is to take out the captains as quickly as possible. I use an LMG just for the staggering. These captains can kill you within just 1 to 2 bursts if they land all of their shots on you, so you will need to take them out as quickly as possible. As long as you're using elemental guns, then you won't have too much of an issue. You'll notice I'm moving left and right, and the reason for that is that if you see right there, there is a sniper on that perch right there that I have been waiting for, and he will eventually come back to you if he misses his shot. Just wait for him. He'll be right there. Body shot if you can, if you have an elemental gun. If you don't, then just headshot. Now it's just a matter of cleaning up what is left over. Instead of going forward, you want to keep your line of sight out of that cave that's to the right of me right now, and instead go around here. What this will do is allow you to shoot into that cave without any sort of worry about being shot at for some reason. The enemies don't really feel like shooting at you. I'm not entirely sure why, but you know what? Go ahead and roll with it. Now just go ahead and clear out the enemies like normal, and you'll be ready for the Archon Priest. Again, be careful and don't try and rush too far into the enemies. There is no time limit on a Nightfall strike, so rushing forward, not the greatest idea. Once you've cleared out all of the enemies, it's time to fight the Archon Priest himself. Now, depending on your group makeup, you can either burn him down, or you may have to employ a few other tactics. The enemies that will be thrown at you are far too much. They will overwhelm you very quickly as they continuously spawn. So you can stay back there if you are a team, and potentially sit on that ledge there in case anyone goes down. Another option is that you can sit underneath this ledge here. This will protect you from pretty much all gunfire, even the skiff that comes down and patrols at half health. Now, one thing to note is that maybe some people don't want to use this method. That is entirely up to you. If you have enough damage, you can burst him down before the adds actually show up, but that is, again, is all up to your group makeup and whether or not you have the upgrades and the gear to do so. If you don't have the gear, then I recommend using the spot under here, as it is pretty safe. Once you're ready to start the Archon fight, just go ahead and move up, start the fight, and you're going to immediately head over here and just start taking pot shots at him. Now, one thing too that is kind of unfortunate is that most of your supers will not be able to be used in here. So you're just going to have to go with regular gunfire, and grenades are not going to stick very well. I also recommend taking out the Shanks because their shots are small enough to hit you in there. If you do end up taking enough damage to go into the red state and you're worried about dying, just go ahead and hit the crouch button and you'll be safe. One thing to be very aware of is that when his health hits half, he will call out for additional stealth enemies, as well as calling in a skiff. So once he's hit about half health here, I go ahead and run forward and wait for the skiff to appear. You'll be able to hear the sound of the skiff appearing. If you don't move from your current location, the skiff will bombard you as it's coming in and more than likely kill you. The enemies that it drops down are irrelevant, as they will not be able to reach you inside of this area. If you do have to leave for whatever reason, though, it does spawn an elite captain with a fire shotgun, as well as a elite captain with 2 melee swords. The elite captain with 2 melee swords will basically one-shot you, though. So I recommend not leaving, even unless you actually have to. Now, there's also the potential that the Archon priest will decide to come up here and stand above the platform that you're at, and you're not going to be able to shoot through that grate. So the best option here is to either move to the side and hope that he moves. If he decides not to, then you will have to kill a couple additional Shanks, as the reason that he's not doing that is because the enemies are currently positioned where he wants to stand. So just clear out a few Shanks if you end up getting this problem, and then finish off the remainder of his health. As long as you don't kill too many of the enemies, a second dropship shouldn't come by. It's all dependent really on how many of the enemies that you kill, but really you shouldn't have too much of an issue. From this point on, you've pretty much got the fight and this entire strike. Really hard to die, especially if you are in a team where everyone can revive each other. Also, the servitors are kind of a pain in the ass and kind of block shots, so I recommend just taking them out if you have the extra ammo. And from here on out, you can just burn any extra synthesis that you want. Very obvious, don't shoot a rocket launcher in here, as you will more than likely clip with the gate and blow yourself up. I've had a few deaths to my teammates happen because of that. So, yeah. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this sort of walkthrough of the Nightfall strike. I'll be doing this every week, letting you guys know how exactly you want to take these out in the most effective way, what you want to bring, and just kind of walk you through all the different spawns and what you might have to encounter. Again, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button, and don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe for future content. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you all in the Nightfall strike. Let me know in the comment section below if this helped you, or let me know what rewards you get from your Nightfall strike. I'd love to hear it. Anyway, guys, I'm going to stop talking now. You all have a nice day. I'll see you in the next video. Later.